It hit him in the back of his head and he kind of stumbled a little bit, looked up and he looked at me and I went, oh my God.
And this is Beckford, he just ran away from him, but he'll still get a strike in and goal and score at the Stretford end for Leeds United. And it doesn't get any better than that.
From one, now Beckford trying to lob the goalkeeper, and he does! And what a strike from Jermaine Beckford!
Reece Mennie here, your host of Mennie Talks, Season 4, another great episode I'm about to bring you. As I said at the beginning of this season, we was only looking to interview real stars, real people that have made an impact in the environment that we live, and to talk about what they've done and how they carry on being at the top of their game throughout, whether it's an entrepreneur, whether it's a sports athlete, whether it's somebody just leaving school. It's all about how you can stay at the top of your game throughout. That's what Mennie Talks is about. I'm your host. I've got Jermaine Beckford with me. Jermaine, thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. Jermaine, as I just said, introduction of what we do, what Mennie Talks is about. It's about giving back to not just youngsters, but anybody that's at a crossroad or trying to be at the top of their game or at a crossroads in life. A little bit of information pulled out of one of these podcasts, me talking to people like yourself. You played for some of the biggest clubs in the country. Professional footballer, entrepreneur now. We'll come on to that. But when you was playing for Leeds, a lot of people talk about your winning goal in the FA Cup against Man United. What did that feel like?
Mate, it was incredible, genuinely. Look, I grew up on a council estate in West London where the prospects weren't massive. They weren't big. The expectations, apart from my family, were almost non-existent. So I wanted to try and find an opportunity, have an opportunity. And as soon as I got one, just batter the doors down, just make sure I took it. Because look, there's no guarantee you're going to get another opportunity. So I just remember
that opportunity.
I remember I used to play for Wealdstone, which is in northwest London.
Okay.
And after a while, scoring lots of goals, a lot of attention started coming my way. And I think one of the biggest things I was able to learn from quite a young age was resilience and block out all the noise. So too much praise, don't want to get my head too big. A little bit getting hammered, people trying to break me down, I wouldn't let it get to me too much. So, when the awareness and the attention started growing around me scoring goals and Charlton, Crystal Palace, Watford started showing an interest, I would just keep playing my game. Yeah. Keep playing my game. Do the best that I could possibly do. And that's something that my parents installed in me as a youngster, myself and my younger brother, from a young age. And I just wanted to make sure that the biggest opportunity for me wasn't going to be lost because I got complacent or I thought I was at a place or a position that I wasn't, So when I had the opportunity to to play for Leeds, to sign for Leeds in 2006, March, I just remember thinking, do you know what? If I can get out of London and sign for this massive football club, what I'm going to do here is focus on being the best version of myself. 22 years of age, never really been outside of London, so everything about moving up north was bizarre, was bonkers, was slightly different. Like walking down the street and people were saying good morning and smiling at you and waving and stuff. I wasn't used to that. No. I was used to if you lock eyes with people, then it's on site. You know what I mean? So
yeah, different environment.
Completely different environment. So I had to really let my guard down. I really had to embrace my new surroundings, my new settings, the new team that I was in. And one of the biggest things for me during the early years especially is while I was playing for Leeds, there's a guy called Sticks, Peter Loxwood, who he's like, at the time was like a player liaison officer. So anything the players needed, whether it's one of the youngsters, i.e. myself, or one of the senior pros, you'd reach out to him and say, Sticks, my car's broken down, I don't know what to do about it. Or, a couple of lights have gone out in the house, can you sort out an electrician? So he would be that guy to sort it. He was the go-to guy. And being 22 years old, and he could see I'm like a fish out of water up there. Straight away he said, right, Jermaine, come here. When you're in this situation, give me a call, do that. When you're in that situation, call me, do this. And he helped me. He was like my extended family up north. And he was one of those people that helped me, along with my parents, obviously, and my siblings, helped me to really focus and knuckle down on making the most of this humongous opportunity of mine. And then,
When did you first realise that Leeds was coming in for you? What did that feel like?
It was bonkers, because I was on trial at Crystal Palace, Charlton, and neither one of those trials worked out too well for me. I was crap in both of them, to be brutally honest. I wasn't ready for it.
Why do you think that was?
I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for the level, the quality.
And what age was you then?
22, just turned 22.
So you wasn't at a pro club until Leeds.
No.
So you was on
15.
trial.
When I was 15, I was at Chelsea's academy.
Yeah.
Ruptured my Achilles, got released after about 9 months.
Okay.
And then
So let's
just
talk
played
about
non-league.
Let's talk about that, because there must be kids out there similar to that, gone through an injury. That's massive.
That happens
That
often
comes to
as well.
the resilience. Is that where that comes from?
Yeah, that's part of where it comes from. Look, when you're 15 years of age and all of your friends at school, all of your local team friends, your estate friends, they see you playing for a massive football club like Chelsea, what happens is there's a little bit of envy that starts creeping in on their part, but you don't realise it. You hear a little snide remark here or there. Oh, he's only there because he knows somebody. He's only there because, little things like that start happening. But
Hard
slowly
to deal with? If you let it get the better of you?
If you let it get the better of you, if you keep on listening to the noise, then absolutely. But what I learned, again, from a young age was everybody's got an opinion. Just because you've got an opinion doesn't mean it's the same as mine, and it doesn't make it right. And it's the same with mine. It doesn't mean, if I've got my opinion and it's different to yours, it doesn't make mine right or yours wrong. It's just a different opinion, and everybody's allowed to have one. And that's what my parents installed into me. Don't worry about everybody else's opinion. Yeah. It's what your opinion of yourself is that matters. Exactly. And that's the biggest battle I'll ever be in my life. Yeah. And so the resilience came from understanding that from quite a young age. And I found when I got released from Chelsea as a youngster at school, and then I'm going back into school with a boot on my foot, hobbling around the place. Everyone knows that I've been released. I no longer play for Chelsea. And they're like, "Ha, we told you he was crap. We told you this, that, and the other." Now, for me, it would have been super easy for me to just crumble and say, "Oh my gosh, they were right." Yeah, and then the self-doubt starts creeping in. But I'm not built like that. I'm really not. And I'm not egotistical or anything like that. I believe in myself. I believe in my abilities. I believe in my dreams, my aspirations. I know if I dream something, if I can picture something, I can achieve it. It will take me a little bit of time to get there. And it's not necessarily going to be the most straightforward or simple route to get there, but I'll figure it out. So resilience-wise is...
What was that like going back into school? It's got to be a tough feeling.
Initially, I was worried.
Yeah.
I was scared. I was scared of the kids saying, he's rubbish. I was scared of their opinions, ridiculously. But then after a day or two, it went back to normal. Yeah. Like everybody's going to say, you're this, you're that. They're going to have an opinion and they're going to doubt whatever it is you say. But tomorrow is a new day. They can't say the same thing again tomorrow and it has the same effect on you, can it?
You've heard it, right?
You've heard it all before. So that initial shock, the initial disappointment that you're feeling, the initial pain that you're feeling from some of your so-called friends saying this, that, and the other, will disappear. And you just learn to find ways to deal with it.
You've obviously played under a lot of different managers. Who was the biggest influence?
Manager-wise, Simon Grayson. Simon Grayson was amazing for me. I've had lots of incredible managers. Don't get me wrong. I've had Sven-Göran Eriksson was incredible. David Moyes was fantastic. But the reason I say Simon Grayson, not necessarily because he's got the same type of accolades as any of the other guys that have managed me, but he was one of the first managers that really helped me to install the self-belief in my abilities, that I'm able to play at this level, that I'm able and capable of being a professional football player. He like, I've worked with him at 3 different clubs now. And one of the things that he did that set him aside from all the other managers, in my opinion, was the ability to see when I'm feeling crap, see when I'm feeling a little bit low, just pop his arm around me and say, hey, don't be silly. Don't worry about it. You missed a couple of chances, but listen, the reason you're in this team is because you're a goal scorer. Believe in yourself. Forget it. That game's gone. Go and have a couple of days off. Get yourself together. Go and see your family. And then I'll see you back in a couple of days' time. And then we go again. You're going to score for me on the weekend.
Yeah.
And as a striker, you thrive on the confidence. And that's exactly what I needed. He was one of the first managers to really put his arm around me and just say that to me. And for me, that worked. You've also got tacticians, David Moyes. He taught me the other side of the game, where it's not just about you as the attacker, it's about you as the first line of defence. So you're not just here to score goals now. When we're out of possession, get yourself back into these areas, these positions, and make it really difficult for the opposition. But when we win the ball, reactions, how are you going to react? Where are you going to go? Are you going to run out wide on the left or out wide on the right? So he taught me that side of the game. Sven-Goran Eriksson taught me patience. And he was one of the most relaxed, calm, down-to-earth, chilled out managers I think I've ever encountered in my life. I remember playing for Leicester, and I was quite new to the team, and the ball came over to me. I controlled it. The training hadn't started yet. And we're just messing around, pinging the ball to each other on the edge of the 18-yard box. Somebody pinged it to me, controlled it on my chest, got it out my feet, and zipped one. Absolutely pinged it with everything I've got. Out of nowhere, it just caught a gust of wind and just started peeling off to the gaffer, to Sven. It hit him in the back of his head, and he kind of stumbled a little bit, looked up, and he looked at me, and I went, oh my God, Gaffer, I'm so sorry. He went, Bex, perfect, you hit the target. And there was a part of me that was thinking, mate, I'm going to get dropped for the next game.
I'm on the bench now.
Yeah, but
he liked it.
He managed to turn it into a positive. Look, if you're hitting me, you can hit the target from anywhere. So, install that into the game, So you learn and you pick up different things from different gaffers. And it's great. There's a lesson in everything. And I learned a lesson from every single one of them.
And that's a great point to anybody that is listening, pick up. The only failure is when you give up.
When you give up.
Right? Yeah. So when you're down, it's always about just keep moving forward and picking information up on whatever path you're going on and use it how you can.
When you're down, which other way is there to go?
Yeah.
Up. Up is the only way to go. So,
Talking about that, obviously you've been at a few different clubs, strike partners and teammates. Who would you say was your favourite person to play alongside up top?
I hate these questions, man. I love these questions, but I hate them at the same time because there's, in each team, like, it's not just about me.
Yeah.
So it's about the team at the time and what that team needs. So every team I've played for, I've had a different favourite strike partner for a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
So while I was at Leeds, it was Luciano Becchio. He's amazing. He was quite funny. He was fresh off the boat from Argentina to Spain and then Spain to the UK to play for Leeds. Didn't speak a word of English. Wow. I taught him English. I had fun with him, I'll be honest.
Some funny stories there.
Oh, mate. I remember one of the first nights out that we had. It was myself, my missus, Lucci and his missus. And I took him to San Carlo, Italian restaurants, lovely place in Leeds. And I remember he wasn't quite sure on the wording, how to say things. So he said, I want this one. And he's pointing at the steak. And I said, oh, shit. So he's like, yes, this one. I said, yeah, no, it's called shit, So when the waiter comes over, he's sitting there and he says, so I've ordered my food, my missus orders hers, his missus orders his, and orders hers. And then it comes to Lucci and he says, excuse me, can I have this shit? And the waiter's looking at him like, what on earth are you talking about? It got to a point where I had to step in very quickly and just say, look, I'm really sorry. He's mistaken. And, for that reason, along many, we got on so well. Like even to this day, and we're talking almost 20 years.
Yeah.
We're still really, really good friends. We see each other often. So him at Leeds, and then you've got Everton, Louis Saha. The reason I say Louis is because he wasn't the fittest while he was there. He picked up 1 or 2 little injuries, but he taught me a lot about perseverance and preserving your body, looking after your body well.
Yeah.
So some of the workouts we were doing while we were in the gym, I'd never seen before, but I've seen him do them now. And I'm like, oh, geez, that's amazing, right? So you're doing that instead of that, right? Let me try this. And I'll try his workout, the same workout as everyone else, but slightly different, tailored and tweaked the way that he does it. And I found that it benefited myself amazingly well. So, you know, I adopted a couple of movements from him. And then, you know, go to Leicester, played with Jamie Vardy.
Yeah.
That guy's, mate, his record speaks for itself. He's a Leicester legend for a reason, you know. There's not really much I can say about him. What you see on screen is what you get behind the scenes. Unbelievable guy.
They talk that he gives everything constantly.
All the time. Every single training session.
Yeah.
And again, he's one of those players that he came into the professional game late.
Late, very late, yeah.
So similar to myself, but I would even argue to the next level. He just pushed himself even further. And he just said, do you know what? If I go out in the first year, I go out in the first year, but I'm going to go absolutely mental and I'm just going to make everybody remember my name.
Just going back to that, I know that you read and watch things on the TV and in the press. The way he trains and the way he plays, they say that he gives
exactly
100% all the time.
Exactly the same.
But then after, how is it that he keeps at that top level? When you drill down in it and look at it, is it because of his recovery? He takes everything so serious. So they say. I don't know. I've never interviewed him, but I'd love to have him on my podcast. But they say that he takes everything so seriously in terms of food that he takes, drinks that he drinks, recovery after. Did you experience that with him?
Sleep as well. Initially, no, which sounds bizarre because his life was completely changed in terms of the supplement intake he has, you know, the nutrition, the sleep. Sleep is a vital part of recovery for anybody, whether you're a sports person or not, whether you're a banker or not. You know, if you're not recovering correctly, your body eventually is gonna start slowing down and breaking down. But after the first year or so, excuse me, Jamie, along with a lot of the other boys, started to realize, do you know what? The possibilities here going forward are absolutely humongous. What happens if we stop, you know, eating the Haribos and stop drinking the Coca-Colas or whatever it is, and then start drinking more water, more electrolytes, have nuts and raisins instead of the chocolate bars, instead of the sweeties? Recovery becomes quicker. It becomes easier. Your body feels much better the following morning. It doesn't feel as stiff. You don't have as many DOMs, which, you know, restrict the muscles from operating optimally. So when you start looking at it from that perspective, the world becomes your oyster. And look, 2015, Jamie and the team were able to go on and win the Premier League title against all odds. You know, that's not by luck or by chance. Don't get me wrong, it was the right timing in terms of the other massive teams that are in the Premier League not quite being on form. But you still got to turn up. You still got to score goals. You still got to win games. You still got to keep clean sheets. You know, so
do you think the game's changed now from when you played? Was nutrition, recovery still as important than it is now?
I was quite fortunate to have seen both ends. I've seen both ends of the spectrum. So I've seen, when I first signed up, recovery was going to the pub with the boys, having a couple of beers. A couple of the old senior pros are out the back having a cigarette, and you're having a laugh and a joke. That was the recovery. Now, well, just before I retired, I saw the other side, which was the complete contrast. You know, the boys have finished training and then straight away they go and do Pilates, or they'll be in the ice baths and getting massages and getting acupuncture and getting the chiropractor coming in. And there's so many, and the nutrition, the food they were eating, the electrolytes, the protein shakes, all of that stuff completely changed. So I saw the full transition from
one end of the
mentalness
spectrum to the other.
Yeah, one side where you get all of the characters, where you got like Razor Ruddock and all of those boys, Gaza, and that's where those stories come from, and that's why we love to sit down and listen to them talking, because they're doing things that you think to yourself, I can't fathom how you got away with it, or why you would even attempt to do any madness like that. Yeah. And then now we've got the other boys, the younger boys, who are, they're going in the gym on their day off to do 5K when they should be resting. Well, should be resting. Yeah. It's still working wonders for them. But I think one of the biggest parts of that, as well as obviously physically looking after yourself, is the financial gain that's available now in the Premier League, especially, but filtered down the leagues. You don't need to be in the Premier League to be a millionaire in professional football anymore. You could be in the Championship or League One if you're sensible. So.
And do you think that's come because of the change in shift?
Yeah, 100%. I think initially nutrition started changing. I think it was when Arsene Wenger first came into Arsenal, and he stopped bringing sauces in to put on chips, and he started using olive oil, and he stopped using this mayonnaise, and he started using, I don't know, balsamic or whatever it is. And we saw Arsenal go through a season unbeaten, the Invincibles, which made everybody else turn and say, hold on a minute, something's going on here. This is great. And they just took that on, and it's just evolved ever since. But the youngsters now, as soon as the season's finished, not so much like when I was playing, they recover for a week or two, like 2 weeks off, and then they get back into their fitness regime slowly but surely. So when the season kicks off, they're fit and firing at the top of their game. Whereas, that wasn't always the case.
What was it like transitioning from obviously playing professional football, then retiring? I know you do a lot with the media, then starting businesses. How was that transition? How did that make you feel? Was it tough?
Oh man, it was. Yes, it was tough. It was really tough. One of the things that always stood out to me was hearing statistics about ex-pros that have retired. It's upwards of 70% end up bankrupt, divorced, or depressed. And I didn't want to fall into any of those categories. It got to a point where I had 3 major knee operations in 4 years, and I had to start thinking about life after football. I had completely consumed myself. My life was football. And now I'm thinking to myself, right, well, hold on, I can't do this forever because my body's starting to break down. My knee is just shot. It's a hereditary issue, something that you can't really do much about. So what are we going to do about life after football? Talking to my missus, and she said, right, well, we love spending time together. We love nutrition. So why don't we just look at how can we look after ourselves? So we started doing a protein shake because the protein powders at the club, all of the clubs that I was at, they were affecting my body in a negative way. So I was having power naps in the daytime. My guts weren't feeling too great. I was always getting stomachache, and I wasn't feeling great. So we stripped the protein powder back and just started creating and developing our own, solely initially just for myself. And then I was watching my stats. We're hooked up to GPS units and heart rate monitors every day. So I can see my recovery stats much quicker, and I can see my energy levels getting back to normal much quicker. But I could also feel that I had more energy, so I could keep going for longer. And a couple of the other boys at some of the clubs that I was working for said, do you mind bringing me in a little bit of this? My stomach's playing up a little bit as well. I said, yeah, no worries. Didn't think anything of it. And then the girlfriends or wives would say to my missus, oh my gosh, so-and-so's not having a power nap in the afternoon anymore. It's amazing. Have you got anything for me? So my missus like, do you know what? We actually haven't even thought about doing something for the girls. So we started doing something, creating something for the girls to start taking, and slowly but surely it evolved from there. Did you create
this while still playing football?
While still playing, yeah.
Still playing, yeah.
Yeah. Because in football's a bizarre industry in that you get absolutely everything given to you, but you've also got so much free and spare time to do anything with. And the first 10 years of my career, I didn't utilized those moments well. I wasted them. I was just in the moments. So I'd finish training and then I'd go home and we'd watch Netflix, or we'd go out and we'd go shopping. But it's not useful in terms of the long term, because once I retire, there's only so much shopping you could do. I get fed up of shopping. I hate it. I can't stand it. So what we do now is, instead of going to training and then coming home, sleeping or going shopping, we're checking the orders, we're checking the ingredients, we're checking to make sure everybody's got what they need, or whether we need to restock, or have we got enough stockists, or have they reordered enough, or, you know, my mind's ticking in different ways now. And I'm not fully there, because I still find a lot of it really challenging. I'm an outdoorsy person. I love to be outside. I love to be around people. Yeah. I hate sitting with the computer in front of me. That's not my happy place. I'm not comfortable there. But it's part of it.
So that's when you formed the business.
Yeah.
When you were still playing.
While I was still playing.
And it's just evolved.
Slowly but surely. So we're evolving. We're evolving slowly but surely. We've got a few really good products. Yeah. But we're growing those products to
Supernova Living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're it's amazing. It's an adaptogenic wellness brand.
Okay.
So adaptogens are a series of non-toxic plants that help to keep your body in balance. So if you're feeling a bit low, they give you the boost you need. We've got 3 blends, one for kids, one for women, one for men, specifically because with the market research we did, men and women need different things. You know, women wanted more around the hormone balancing, energy boosting, wanted mental clarity, wanted more focus, whereas the men wanted a bit more protein, wanted to recover quicker, wanted to boost endurance. We've got black maca in there as well, which is all about protecting, looking after the prostate, but also balancing men's hormones as well. Okay. Again, these are areas that, as a guy, I never looked at before. I was ignorant to the fact that my hormones are one way, my energy levels are another way. Do I look after myself in the right ways? And the answer to all of the above was no. You know, I was quite fortunate that because I was playing football, I could almost get away with it a little bit. So we just learnt, and what
you've done all of this yourself, the
myself
research,
and my wife.
both of you and your wife.
Yeah, we've got inquisitive minds. Yeah. So as soon as we open one door, it's that's made by so and so. Okay, what else do they do? How do they do it? What do they use?
Yeah, good.
So we ask questions about everything, and we want the best of the best because we're taking it. I take it, my missus takes it, my kids take it. So if we're having it, I want to make sure it's the best. And that's how we kind of evolved.
Have you looked at other business opportunities? Would you class yourself as an investor?
A little bit more so. In recent times.
Do you have any good advice that you could give to anybody that's looking to start a business or looking for investment?
I would say, don't get into it initially to make loads of money. Get into it because you can see growth, because you feel like you can scale up. Make sure you do your research on absolutely every element and every part of it, because if something's too good to be true and somebody's saying to you, you could make X amount of money if you just invest X amount of money in X amount of time. I'm not interested in those ones. I'm really not.
What do you stick to? You leave the likes of crypto alone?
I don't know enough about crypto. It's not something I'm comfortable with.
Property?
Obviously, property, yes. Yeah. Crypto is one of those things where you hear all of the amazing stories. Oh, wow, I made 10x my money in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You never hear about the losses, but there's far more losses than there are gains. Yeah. You know, if somebody's winning that big, somebody's losing that big. Properties, yes, that's where I've made quite a lot of profit from properties. Okay. So I'm happy with that, comfortable with that. Again, if it doesn't feel right, I go nowhere near it. But just I like to have freedom. So we've got a couple of investments as well with investment platforms, and so we've got bits and pieces going on. But I do like to look for different things. I'm not solely stuck in one industry. I think that's too risky.
It's good to diversify
Yeah.
and keep your finger on the pulse in different. What's next for the business? What's your goal? What are you looking to achieve next?
Global domination. No, it's Supernova. So we're going out to Japan and Dubai.
Okay.
Come the end of the year, the beginning of next year. So that's an exciting move for us. So we're getting everything set up and ready for that. Apart from that, like any business, we want to stay in it for as long as we need to. We don't want to overstay our welcome. But we see lots and lots of growth in it. So
what would you look to sell out?
Not anytime soon. Not anytime soon. I think eventually, depending on what's going on around that time, we'd either look at outside investment once we've reached a certain point, which we're nowhere near yet, or we would look at opening the doors, inviting offers. But because we both love what we're doing, we'd never fully sell it.
Yeah, you want to.
We'd always want to have some kind of involvement because we can see where it's going to go. We can see the profitability and the scale of it as well.
What bit of advice could you give to other athletes that's planning to or coming to the end of their career and looking to plan for retirement?
I would say one of my biggest regrets that I didn't do early enough was invest in property in the early days. I would say don't spend your savings. Invest your savings wisely and live off the profits of your investments, wherever that may be. That could be in absolutely anything. Whatever takes your fancy, whatever you're passionate about. I would say if you're thinking about getting into business, starting up your own business, do a business master's course. Understand the business side of it. Do a financial course as well. Understand the finances, what comes with it. And don't take risks, unnecessary risks. Make sure everything's calculated. Do your research, do your homework in absolutely everything.
Great bit of advice. Very, very, very good. Obviously, you're still in the media. You do some stuff for Sky, TNT.
Yeah.
Takes up quite a lot of your time.
That side of it, no. And I've done that. I've done that almost intentionally.
Yeah.
Because while I've been playing football, that literally consumes your whole life. So you're training, you're traveling, you're resting. You're training, you're traveling, you're resting. So the family doesn't really get to see the best version of you. So now that I'm able to, how do you
balance life now with the family? You spend more quality time with the family.
Far more. And that's one of the reasons why I'm freelance. But the reason I've done that is because I've got the opportunity, the chance to say no.
Yeah.
I'm not available for this one. I'm not tied into anything.
Yeah, gotcha.
You haven't got me 24/7, 365. My family, who haven't had me, there's been Christmas Day, Boxing Days where we're training, and we're based just outside of Liverpool, but we could be training in Portsmouth or somewhere like that on Christmas Day. And I miss out on all of the family stuff. So now I've got the opportunity to be there and be available. I love it. I love it. So I pick and choose when I'm working, when I'm available for work. With Supernova, we can do that from anywhere in the world. And then the rest of my time, I'm a glorified taxi driver. I just don't get paid for it, man. There's no financial benefit for me.
Well, look, it's great having you on. Gone through a lot of stuff about you, your journey. There's a lot of takeaways there. Just before we do finish, obviously we was talking off air about football and who you support.
Yeah.
You said it's difficult to actually support a team as a professional player.
Yeah.
But just talk us through how you become a supporter of the team that I'm not au fait with.
So as a kid, I was my dad's always been a Man United fan.
Yeah.
Right. So one day he said to myself and my younger brother Marcel, right, boys, you lot are going to be Man United fans and we're going to go to Old Trafford. We're living in London at this time. We're going to travel up to Old Trafford and, we're going to support the Red Devils and this, that and the other. And I'm a little bit of a rebel. So I was like, no, absolutely not. I'm not doing that. So I had a little look on teletext and just watching the screens flicker, and it got to the league table, and it was Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea. Chelsea had just released me, so they're out the window, mate.
they got no chance.
No chance. So then I just seen Arsenal top of the tree. So I just said, you know what? I'm going to be an Arsenal fan. And
I
initially,
reckon that's how 99% of Arsenal supporters picked Arsenal.
yeah, quite possibly. And it was initially to piss my dad off, but it got to a point where I looked at a couple of the players that played for him, Righty and Rocky, and a couple of the old boys, and I just had an affiliation with those guys, and I just appreciated them.
Who's your favourite player to watch now?
Individual player?
Yeah.
That's a great question. I like, for obvious reasons, Haaland. Like, I don't think he's the best football player by any stretch of the imagination. He's the best goal scorer by far. And they're two different things. And a lot of people get a little bit confused when I say he's not a very good football player, but he's a great goal scorer, because they think the two things are exactly the same. But they're not. So what Haaland does really, really well, he doesn't get involved in the nonsense part of the football match. He's not interested. He's got 10 players behind him to do all the defensive stuff, to find opportunities, create chances. All he has to do is find a way to create spaces for himself. And he has players like, obviously De Bruyne is not there anymore, but when you've got players like De Bruyne, you've got Foden, you've got Rodri in your team that create chances out of nothing. His job is pace, is power, and it's being ruthless in front of goal. So for the goal scoring element, mate, him. But I think my favourite player in the Premier League at the moment is Eze, Eberechi Eze. He's at Arsenal. Mate, what a player.
I know where he is.
Wow. Creative, mate. He's a monster. But what I love about watching him play, there's no ego there.
Yeah.
He's just
Do you think
blessed.
that was the right move for him?
I do. I think with his talents, with his ability, and with the potential that he's got, because he's not reached it yet, I think Arsenal's the right place for him, because Arteta likes to play a free-flowing type of football, attacking football on the front foot. And if you get him in the 10 position, not out wide, I don't mind him out wide on the left. I'd much rather him be in the 10. He can unlock doors. Yeah. He can unlock doors. I'm a huge admirer of his. But I think that's the right move for him right now. And then in about 4 or 5 years' time, Barcelona. Yeah. Why not?
See where he ends up. And who do you reckon, last question from me, who do you reckon's going to win the league this year?
I'll say the Gunners,
Really?
I'll say the Gunners. I know.
You've upset me
today. I know. I'm doing well, aren't I? Do you know what? And lots of people would say the obvious ones, Liverpool, because Liverpool have been unbelievable. City, because of what they've achieved in the past. But there's something about Arsenal that I really like what they're doing. And a lot of people are kicking Arteta. A lot of people are booting him. But when you look at what he's done, he's finished, second 3 times in a row. Yeah. And Arsenal fans are currently complacent, because before Arteta took over, the team weren't anywhere near being where they are now. Yeah. And granted, I would say he does need to win a trophy.
I think he's got to do something this year.
He's got to win a trophy.
It's his year, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got to do something.
He's got to win a trophy. But I don't think he should be sacked if he doesn't get a trophy. Because finishing second 3-4 years in a row, mate, that's unbelievable. Especially when you look at the way Liverpool have been over the last couple of years. Yeah. Man City have been over the last couple of years.
Very good teams.
Mate, 2 of the best. 2 of the best. So I would say Arsenal. I'm not sure if that's out of hope or not, though.
Well, look, Jermaine, thanks for coming on. It's been a real pleasure. Have we missed anything? Is there anything that you'd like to go over? Anything that you think the listeners could benefit from?
Just that in terms of the investment side of things, I'm just going to reiterate, if it doesn't feel right, if it feels like you're taking a risk or taking a gamble,
don't do it.
Don't do it. It's not worth it. Yeah. Or just, every opportunity.
Same as anything in life, right?
Yeah.
Make sure you do your thorough due diligence on anything.
Every decision, if you're not quite sure about, just leave it a week. Yeah. And if you're still not quite sure about it, then it's not right. Yeah. And if during that week, you're thinking to yourself, there's a great opportunity here. I could definitely make something happen. Then look into it.
Great bit of advice. Thank you very much.
Pleasure, brother.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.